Thank you so much for tuning in to the Barbara Dean Franklin Show, Real Talk, Real People. I am your host, Barbara Dean Franklin, and today I have the awesome pleasure of sitting with my girlfriend, Satori Shakur. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
Listen, your biography you've done so much. What we're going to really talk about is the Secret Society of the Twisted Storytellers. Definitely want to get in to talk about that. That was an event that I had the awesome pleasure of seeing last week at MGM with Terry McMillan, with you, Gigi Mildred. We're going to talk about that, but before we do, man, your biography is so awesome. The first thing that I want to talk about is the Brides of Frankenstein. Funkenstein, exactly. I'm sorry, because I was listening to the song
Never by Texas.
I mean, I had forgot all about that song until when I went on there and I listened to it today, and I was grooving to it. And George Clinton, I remember one of his songs that we drive down the street, we would pull over and just jump out the car and just dance. So those were some great times. Tell me a little bit about everything that you have done. You're a playwright, actor, published writer, singer, stand-up comedian. So tell me a little bit about the play Menopause. You were part
Menopause
of that.
musical.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I had just come back from Toronto, having done a play there, and I got back to Detroit, and someone had sent an audition notice, Menopause musical. I said, "Oh, it's 4 characters. I'm getting one of these roles." But I missed the first day of rehearsal, so I said, "Well, I'll go to the callbacks and see if they'll see me."
Right.
And they did, and I got a role of understudying 2 parts.
Okay.
And I did that musical for, I don't know, from 2004 to 2010, off and on. And I was also doing another hit show in Toronto called The Kink in My Hair,
Right.
which was beautiful. That won 4 out of 5 2007 NAACP Theater Award.
Okay.
But Menopause the musical was a breakthrough for me. Like my life is pretty much magical because I have followed my heart.
Okay.
I'm an artist, and whatever delighted me. I was a professional violinist by the time I was 15. You talk about tell about everything.
Okay.
I'm just an artist who has surrendered to the path that I'm on.
Okay.
With struggles, but I love what I love, and that sustains me. So Menopause the musical came at a time in my life when I wanted to understand about menopause. I was perimenopause. Oprah had her show, but mostly menopause was treated as this ailment, this terrible thing, and or medical. There was nothing fun about it, and so their Menopause the musical was a breakthrough, I think, for women, a cultural phenomenon, because we could come together and laugh and re-experience the music of the past. Because when I asked my mother, "Well, can you tell me something about what's going on with me?" I don't remember.
and I understand that because I went to my doctor and I really thought I was having a nervous breakdown, and she explained to me that I was going through menopause, and I'm like, well, it was so much better for me when it had a term and I knew what was going on in my life, so I felt really good about that. So, Tori, did you always know from a little girl, did you know what you wanted to do from the very beginning? Okay.
Yes. We used to have talent shows. My mother worked as a maid in Grosse Pointe and some other parts, and my stepmother would babysit us. Okay. And I would get like a little box, and my little brother and sister, we would come out of his room and stand on the box and do something, some form of entertainment. My stepmother would sit there and just laugh, and then my sister and my brother would drop out because they were bored, and I was still getting on the box, and she was still laughing at everything I did, and I'm like, I don't think I'm that funny, but she took pleasure in it, and it gave me an audience, and it gave me some place to put all this energy that I had.
Well, I know, again, I had the pleasure of seeing the Secret Society of Twisted Storytellers, and as you told your story, I told you, I was walking through Macy's with you. I was, I saw your gym shoes. I saw you talking to the guy, who was selling the shoes. You were about to take his job, or everything that you told. But the biggest part to me, because I think that, again, I think that I'm a very upbeat person. You know, I like to motivate, inspire, and encourage people as well. But when I left there, I was so inspired. I was so motivated by what I saw, the story from you, the story from Gigi, the story from Mildred, about, you know, everything that you went through and how you got and found your happiness, your passion, you know, what it was that you wanted to do. Because I just retired from AT&T in March after 36 years. And sometimes you question, did you do the right thing? You know, could you have to work to, you know, 40 more, you know, 40 years or whatever. But when I sit back and I think about the retirement, I know that I did the right thing. You know, I'm sitting here right now, you know, with you, just encouraged about what I do, not having the doldrums of, you know, politics and, you know, just the different things that went on in the office. I love the people, I love the customers, but it was playing those games, crunching those numbers and those things that just took away from the job. You know, we weren't about the customers anymore. For me, you know, it seemed like, you know, things were going away. So I was really inspired by the stories that you guys told. I was really excited, you know, just left there with a new feeling like, yeah, you know, I can do this, you know, I can do this. So tell me how the Secret Society of Twisted Storytellers came about.
Well, I don't know whether you've heard of The Moth.
No, I hadn't.
Well, The Moth, www.themoth.org. Mm-hmm. It's an organization dedicated to the art and craft of storytelling. Matter of fact, The Moth will be here next Tuesday, November 13th at the Fillmore Theater. Mm-hmm. And it's a storytelling show. Okay. And it's a main stage event, and they bring storytellers from all over the country to tell their stories on a theme. Anyway, they have a monthly slam at Cliff Bell's, and I went to the monthly slam, and when I saw it, it was like, oh my goodness, I've always been a storyteller. Okay. I come from a long line of storytellers, but that isn't an art form that's recognized. It doesn't even get funded. There's organizations dedicated to just having it become recognized as an art form so we can get funding. Okay. But it has cultural value. It was one of the first human art forms. Right. So I was like, oh my goodness, this is, because I'm a stand-up, and I would do stand-up just to tell stories. Right. But with stand-up, you're limited to just making people laugh, and there were deeper, tenderer, more profound experiences that I wanted to talk about. So when I saw that, I was attracted, and I said, I'm going to go up and tell a story. Right. The next month, and I went up and told a story, and I think I lost by 3/7 of a point. It's a contest, okay. the 10 storytellers, but whoever wins the contest goes on to the Gym Theater to the Grand Slam. So I said, well, when I finish this play, was doing a play at Meadowbrook, I'm going to come back here. Came back, and I won. Right. So I went to the Gym Theater, and I in between that time, the story I told about Macy's happened. Okay. It was May, and last year, and I was moving out of my loft, and you know, I was going through which should I choose, and I didn't get the job at Macy's. And I told my girlfriend, she was laughing. She called me 3 days later, and she said, "You have to tell that story." She says, "I told 3 people that story, and they all laughed, and that was me telling your story." Right. And I was kind of like embarrassed to tell the story because you think about yourself and all that you've done. And then you're going to be, now you got to take a low-paying job, give up your dreams to survive. And I said, I bet I could tell a story about not getting a job at Macy's and get paid more for it. Exactly. And so I went to the Gym Theater to tell the story. I thought, well, maybe somebody out there will hear the story and give me a job in a health food store, something that wouldn't rob my soul. And the Moth came up to me and said, hey, would you like to host our new slam in Ann Arbor? Yes. Okay. And then a week after that, listen, would you like to tell a story on the main stage of the Fillmore next, and I said, in November, I said, oh, yeah. So I went to the Fillmore and told another story about losing my mother and my son, and how I found my way there, how I found my way through grief and to a moment and an experience that completely elevated me out of that to where I am now, where who would know? I want to tell people that grief, you must go take every single crawling step. Because on the other side, the people that you're grieving, that you lost, are there. And they're saying, we're proud, and you have a purpose. You didn't lose us to just have us be lost.
Right.
So I told that story, and it rippled. And then they asked me would I tell the story for the Moth Radio Hour. The Moth Radio Hours, it comes on NPR. You can hear it on WDET Michigan Radio or anywhere in the country, or you can go on the online to hear it, or my website. But it is. It's on the Moth Radio. It's a Peabody Award-winning show, and there my story is, and I get emails and letters all the time from all people from all walks of life, even from around the world. We heard your story. We're so encouraged by it. Made me cry, made me laugh.
Exactly.
So I took a journey with the Moth. I went to New York to perform the story. Then they asked me would I do it again in Boston because all the PRX people were there. And I told the story in Boston. After that, they asked me would I host. I'm a host, and host the Michigan Theater and the Intersection in Grand Rapids. And then I went to New York to host the season premiere of The Moth. So when I walked out on the stage in Boston, somewhere in the middle of that story, and as I was standing there, I knew this was my purpose in life. I didn't know what I was going to do with it. I just knew that somehow storytelling was what was given to me to heal, to heal, and so I just allow myself to be with that knowledge. And then I'm sitting out in the backyard with a friend, and I said, I want to do a show. I rented a little funky theater. Held 50 people. I said, I don't know what I'm going to do. And I thought, I didn't know what to call it, but I had written a short story some years ago called The Secret Society of Twisted Storytellers, because I had told a story that to me was so risque that I needed to create an audience to hear it. So that's kind of how I got to this, that we have
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That we have secrets that we can deliver through our storytelling, but those secrets are really access to our own humanity and our own humility, and if we share them, it will touch somebody else and unlock that. Twisted just means human, that we're unraveling ourselves.
Now, because when you say that, the Secret Society of the Twisted Storytellers, and you said that for those who want to hear, they come out, you have a community or audience of people. Maybe the Secret Society of Twisted Storytellers is not for everyone, but perhaps for that right one, to come out and to hear your story.
Well, it's turning out to be for everyone who comes enjoys it. It's I thought about long and hard whether to use the word twisted. Oh, people might think this is, but it's human. It just means
very
human. And when people come and they sit there because they've never been to a storytelling show, storytelling is basically you're in your kitchen table, you're on the phone with your friends. It's not presented as art where you stand there and it's crafted into a story, tell a story that moves people, takes them, like you said, I saw you.
I did.
And when you go through it, you get free like the storyteller gets free. So and to share it in community with everybody else, laughing and not breathing at the same time and breathing it's really a ride. And we went from 50 seats to we did a fundraising event for Planned Parenthood. That was 225 seats. And so everybody that comes to see it comes back to see it.
And I understand
they change places. They are in the audience and now they're on stage telling the story. So if you want to tell a story, please inbox me, www.secretstorytellers.com. Don't be afraid. I coach you through the stories. And the stories are the most that you feel most embarrassed to tell, most afraid to tell. Gigi, our friend, I can't tell that. I don't want to tell that. But that's the one.
Well, what's really, really amazing to me is because, much like you said, I was on Facebook and I got a call from my producer. I had never met him, who said, would you like to come out and do an interview with Pastor K? And I was like, sure, I came out, I did the interview with Pastor K, and after that interview, he was like, well, would you like to do a show monthly, the Barbara Dean Frank? Well, sure, and then next thing, would you like to do a weekly show? Sure, so I understand how that happens. But with Gigi, when I started, I said that I wanted to spotlight people that were doing positive things in the city of Detroit, blah, blah, blah. And I I asked Gigi, I said, why don't you come on the show? She was like, really, I'm kind of shy. I was like,
come on.
but I say that all the time to people,
Yeah.
that I'm shy, and people don't believe that.
Yeah.
So I did understand, So it did me really great to see her up there on that stage. She did an awesome job, but she has so much power anyway in telling stories, and just the way she can make something so funny, it could be just whatever, when Gigi says it, it's like E.F. Hutton, everybody listens to it. So it's really great. When we were talking earlier, you were saying that how you are bringing the Secret Society of Twisted Storytellers together to tell stories, and it also kind of unites and empower women, us together as...
Well, our mission is to connect humanity.
Okay.
And to create community, and to uplift it, with thought-provoking, soul-cleansing stories that are packaged in a unique form of entertainment through the art and craft of storytelling. So there's no preaching, no teaching, no putting. It's your human experience shared with joy, because look what I've come through. Look where I went from my knees to my feet to I'm flying. And that, like you were sharing earlier about did I do the right thing, or finding our passion. I believe we know what our passions are, but we've buried them under our fears to express it, all of the obstacles, and just the human just that human tendency to, no, I can't, I'm not good enough, I'm not. And this is like, we're magnificent.
Right.
We can do whatever we intend to do. And so it wasn't about finding my passions as it was about finding the freedom and the strength and the courage to express that passion no matter what, no matter what the appearances of the world, which were in economic. But I found that when you don't have anything to lose, then winning is clear.
Everything. Yes, it is. And it was just really amazing because being there when Ms. Mildred was telling her story, and she was like, the reason she was where she is today because she took the time to ask, And as I heard that, I'm at home, the stories were all told, and, I'm at home, and I'm thinking, like, man, I really would like to get her on the TV show, And then I just kept hearing Ms. Mildred say that, I took the time to ask. I was like, I started Facebook. I was like, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. And I just kept hearing her say that. I took the time to ask. And because of that, I asked, and you said yes. And it was just really, just breathtaking. So here it is. The story that was told has become reality, for somebody else that was in that audience. Who else went home feeling good, feeling empowered, feeling like, yeah, I could do this, because that's exactly how I felt. And like I said, I'm already somewhat of a positive person anyway, but, there are days that I'm down, but I went there, I was so, on fire, so excited, telling people about the Secret Society of the Twisted Storytellers. You got to hear these stories, you've got to go. The next event, November the 16th, we're going to go in every event, because that is like a
it's a community event.
It is.
It's a community service to tell stories.
It most definitely is.
And we want to get everybody in Detroit up there eventually.
And that, and we need to support each other. We really can make a difference. I mean, we have our music and rapping and different things like that. That's storytelling. People need to hear what other people have gone through,
and
have
true
overcome.
Stories. These are true stories, not made up stories.
Exactly.
They're true stories, and I believe stories save us.
They do.
They heal us. They show us how somebody else did the thing we have yet to do.
Exactly. I agree with that, and I think it's time, for such a time as this, especially today, that we all stand strong to move forward. It's time for us to move forward, to do some positive things. Nobody's coming to save us. We have to save ourselves.
Yes.
We've got to unite together and be a community of old, like days of old, things that we used to do where we came together. It is so much talent. It is so much that we can do to take our city back, to rise, to teach our young children, how to be creative and do the things that they love to do. They are sitting on so much talent, but society is telling them one thing, they want to count us out. But, we showed up. we showed out, and we could do this, you know. And I think that this to me, the Secret Society of the Twisted Storytellers, it was not by chance that, you know, that Gigi invited me to that event, you know, that I was at that event, and I was telling you I have an organization, Women in Power Crossing Paths. I thank God that our paths crossed,
Yes.
you know, and I'm just looking forward to just sitting down with you. One day I want to tell a story, you know, and hey, you know, I want you to, you know, tell.
Coming for it.
Okay. Hey, I'm ready. You know, people already say I talk too much already. You know,
Hey,
so I don't think
you know
it's
what?
gonna be a problem.
If you listen to my story on NPR, it's called Too Much.
Okay.
Because I was accused of talking too much, being too self-expressed, being too analytical to this. I said, right, and I'm walking into the too muchness of my life. You know, when you outgrow your space, then you have to move. You have to share. You know, you move into great, wonderful places. You know,
that is just,
it's about uplifting each other. Because one of the things that when I consciously went through the grieving process, I took that on and surrendered to the dark places that grief will take you, the hopeless places, and found my way out. And when I came out, I realized I could recognize the grief. I believe 90% of people in the world are walking around in some stage of grief. And what grief takes a lot of energy. And it keeps us depressed. So you question yourself because, wow, I've got these burdens. I got, you know, even if you lose a computer, you lose something on your computer, you have a moment of, oh my God,
how am I gonna get that back?
So if you lose, what other things have we lost that our jobs, the way society is built, we get a week off if we lose our son. We get a week off if we lose our mom. Then we got to be back on the job. You know, we have a child. We got to get back on the job. We have, you know, there is not that. You know, the first week, the first month, the first 3 months, everybody is there for you, and then you get called. You want to go out? I don't feel like it. Why? Oh yeah, right. Because you know, it's like you know, you should be done with it, but you don't.
There's
you aren't
no
done
right
with
way. Or wrong way.
When we acknowledge together, and I went through a grief support group, which is another way to. You hear other people, mothers who have lost their children or lost even a bird. And the love they had for that bird. So it's like, let's acknowledge our loss. Let's find the value in what we lost so that we can know what we can lose. I can lose. There's nothing I can't hear. Nobody's story I can't hear. And when I'm working with storytellers and their stories, the storytellers open up and share their lives because I'm not judging them. I'm looking for the story, bringing out the parts of the story to give to the audience. I tell the storyteller, this story is not for you. This is for the audience. But the storytellers get something from it. They go, thank you. Thank you for letting me. I didn't even know. I feel so free. I feel released.
So how do you coach somebody through, I mean, just like one example of, you know, coaching somebody through telling their story?
All right, Gigi, you don't mind if I...
Hey, Gigi.
For the Planned Parenthood event, I booked Gigi, and the theme was stories from life surprises. And Gigi, I said, well, let me hear some stories that you have. And I said, well, that's not a story yet. And I said, have you ever lost anything? She says, well, yeah. I said, what? Well, my house. Well, let me hear it. Let me tell me about that. So she just started telling me about it, and then when she got to a certain point, I said, "Well, that's the story." No, I can't tell that story. I said, "What do you mean you can't? That's the story." Oh no, I can tell anything but that. I don't want people to know my financial business. I said, "This is not your financial business. This is human financial business." The stats on people who have lost their homes. Okay, you. I said, and so she says, "Well, I can't even drive by my house. I can't even drive by for 10 years." I said. She goes, Dad, you sound like my family. I said, we got to get the story, baby.
I know, that's right.
So
somebody needs to hear it.
Somebody needs to hear this, and you don't have an ending. Go drive by that house. Sit there. Whatever happens is the ending, because you're avoiding that piece. She actually went to the house, and she sat there, and she said, this is nothing but bricks and mortar. The tree is taller, but what made that house what it was me, love. So she's through with the house. She's done. She's got it out, and people are like, Gigi, I love that story. And people don't realize that the things that they're keeping in, the things that they think people are going to judge, and people will judge. But people are like, I couldn't believe you told that.
Exactly.
And really, they're saying, oh, thank you for telling that. You know?
So now I can go and tell my
I
story
can tell
as
mine.
well.
I have permission to be human.
Yes, yes. So if people wanted to get in touch with you, if they want to tell the story, the Secret Society of Twisted Storytellers, what is your website or a contact number that they can get in touch with you?
Okay, if I put a card, I have a card. Can I put that up?
Up on the website?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
but the website address is www.secretstorytellers.com. And you can go to the Contact Us page and inbox me. You have a story, or you can call the business line 313-744-6037. On the website is all the information about our next events, some video footage, photographs, our mission. Some you can go there and have go there and have a good time.
Right.
You know?
So let's talk about the event that's coming up on November the 16th.
Friday, November 16th.
Okay, yeah. Tell a little bit about where that is and what's going on there.
Well, it's at the Pangea Art Gallery, which is located at 8418 West McNichols Road, right across from Marygrove College. Keith Walker and Mason Holiday are the owners and artistic directors of the, it's like having a little Soho, little New York right there on that corner. Beautiful gallery, beautiful vision they have. They named it Pangea, which they told me it means whole, entire. And their space is for community. They want to do vegetarian cooking shows, all kinds. They're bringing artists from all over the country. Mason Holiday studied art in Cairo and different places in the world. So he's great. And then Keith Walker, who owns the place, is originally from Long Island. He's one of Detroit's finest. He's a police officer, and it's funny to see him in the gallery with his police uniform on, and he's like excited about art. So it's going to be a perfect fit for the Secret Society because they are growing in size, and they have a whole other community to bring together, the African-centered community. The audiences that come to the Secret Society of Twisted Storytellers are very diverse. We've had from everything from 13 to 82. Black, white, young, old, men, women, because stories are about human beings, and if it's about human beings, it touches everybody.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. So that's November the 16th, and what time does the show start?
The show starts at 8. Doors open at 7 o'clock because we have Gigi Bolden art show and hors d'oeuvres, and bring your own bottle, and come and have a good time. The theme is thankful, thankful, thankful. We're telling stories of gratitude.
I have a bottle of Obama wine. That,
you do. You do.
One of my ex-co-workers, he gave it to me, and I guess they got it last year. He lives in Traverse City, and he gave it to me on my birthday, September the 9th, and he told me, save it until he's re-elected president. So maybe I'll save that bottle for November the 16th. Pastor, I'm going to take the Obama wine to the to the Secret Society. And
if you want to be thankful about the election, thankful about anything, come to the Pangea Gallery and rock with us. We're going to be storytelling. We have a musical guest. I have to tell you about our musical. Lauren Harper, he was at the Planned Parenthood fundraiser. His voice, he's a little Barry White, he's a little Luther, he's amazing. He will stir your soul.
I cannot wait. I am really looking forward to it. I've invited all my girlfriends, my friend Marjorie Bell. She does not know this, but I'm paying for her ticket. I'm picking her up.
$15. It's not even a lot of, it's not $15 bucks.
I am doing that for her birth. This is a happy belated birthday present for her. So now you heard it here first, So I'm really looking forward to that. I was getting ready to say something. I've kind of, my secret society mind is twisted here. So, sometimes I forget what it is that I was getting ready to say. But anyway, no, I know what I was getting ready to say. I read I don't know if it was the last post that you made on Facebook about the race, the election and everything. And so the only thing that was missing was I am Satori Shakur and I approve this message because it was really deep and it was really great. But I'm excited about, about the Secret Society. I'm glad that I was introduced to it. I'm glad, again, that our paths crossed. I look forward to supporting you in whatever it is that you do, and in any way that I can assist. I'm there. I'm telling everybody about it, not because they're just stories being told, because I feel, and I think I'm a very good judge of character. I think that, what you did for me was to give me more hope. You understand? Those stories gave me hope. I left there on that, and I don't usually go anywhere by myself or do anything, but I walked in MGM by myself. I left by myself. I felt so good when I left there. I knew for a fact that storytelling would mean something to me different than it did when I went in there. So I just really thank God that you continue to do what it is, your passion, what it is that you're doing. Don't get weary and well doing, but I know that you won't. Anytime you go apply for a job at Macy's,
I totally love what I'm
and you say scared that you might get the job, okay? So that really makes all the difference in the world. But I will definitely see you on November the 16th. Is it anything that you want to tell people who may be looking and listening? That I think you've said it all, and almost everything you said about grieving and just different things. But somebody's out there who needs a little hope today. Somebody is out there that's going through something, and we've been through some things. So what do you tell that person about not giving up, about keep dreaming their dream, about keep fighting the good fight? What do you say to them?
I just say, whatever it is that you are going through, embrace it, because it's a gift. It's a gift. The things we go through are a gift. If we allow it to be a gift, yes, let it put you on your knees. Okay. Feel the hopelessness, if that's what it is that you're feeling, because you can't stay there.
Right.
Our human spirits don't allow us to just stay there. And one of the reasons I'm doing this, I want to let people know that if you come to a Secret Society, a Twisted Storyteller event, it is real.
Yes.
You were there, you hear, I mean, I'm not a cursor person,
right,
but I tell the story.
Yes,
I tell the story, and I use the words that best convey that story.
Gotcha.
But what I have a gift to do is make people laugh.
Right.
And laughter is an immediate health benefit.
Yes,
so come get your benefit.
Exactly.
And all I can say is allow yourself to go through it, but don't go through it by yourself.
Exactly.
Share it. Tell your story about it.
Exactly.
Listen to other stories about it.
Exactly. I truly agree with that. And again, I am looking forward to November the 16th.
Yes.
I thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule to come and sit with me.
Thank you.
Guys, go on Facebook. You have a Secret Society.
Friend me on Facebook, Satori Shakur, S-A-T-O-R-I. Shakur, S-H-A-K-O-O-R. Sounds like Tupac Shakur, spelled different. S-H-A-K-O-O-R. You friend me. I invite you to the event, and you'll get all the posts and all the video and all of everybody's excitement about it.
And I truly believe that you will not regret it. So to my fans, to my public, to the people who watch this show weekly, I thank you for your continued support. I truly appreciate you taking the time out of your schedules to look at the information that I try to bring you weekly, that I hope will be a blessing to you. I definitely know that if you go to the Secret Society of Twisted Storytellers event, your life will never be the same. It will give you hope. It will encourage you. It will lift you up. It will inspire you. So make sure that you try your best to friend Satori, and make sure that you do what you can to be at this event on November the 16th. And so I'm going to end my show as I always do each week, telling you from my beating heart to your beating heart, I love you, you understand, okay.